Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm here in my studio and feeling positive. I'd like to begin my little live video today by offering a short prayer. Heavenly Father, we need your guidance. So many people are suffering. So many of us are afraid. Please help us to meet the challenges that lie ahead. Please uplift our spirits. You, and only you, are our mighty fortress. Amen. That powerful hymn has special meaning for me because my mother passed away back in the 1970s, and I played the piano at the Methodist Church at the funeral service for her and played this hymn. I didn't really have a very good understanding about the meaning and the power of spiritual music, and I'm still learning. But at the same time, I guess the main reason why I chose it was because a couple of years before that, on an album that I made for CTI Records, my first record called One for CTI, I don't really know exactly why I composed this piece called Valley of the Shadows, but I was thinking in cinematic terms, and I wanted to do something orchestral, something that had some power and a wide dynamic range. And after a lot of dissonance and a lot of crazy stuff that happened at the beginning of that recording, it resolved into a version of this hymn, Mighty Fortress. So it stayed with me for a long time, and since it's Sunday, I thought it was appropriate. So moving along to something lighter and fun, I learned yesterday that there's a special birthday today of a very, very dear friend who now lives on the island of Martha's Vineyard, and has been a friend for a long, long time, back in the days when I used to live in Westchester County, New York. His name is Walter Vail. Hi, Walter. Hi, Wally, I should say. And I hope you and your family are doing great. I think now's a pretty good time to be isolated on an island where you can be peaceful and stay away from infection. And so I hope you're staying healthy. This guy is an old guy. He's even older than me. But I hear that your health is good. I hope to see you in person soon. And you're not the only one who has a birthday today that I became aware of. One of my fans on Facebook, who's been watching my Facebook videos, told me that her son, Carlos, has a birthday also. So I think it's appropriate that I play Happy Birthday twice, because we're supposed to do that anyway these days when we're washing our hands. So I can imagine you guys washing your hands twice while I do two verses of Happy Birthday, one for Wally and one for Carlos. Hope you get a nice cake. Okay, this next piece also has a significance because it definitely represents what I am thinking. I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of all of you, because I'm here at my house alone. I guess in many ways that's a good thing, because you stay isolated better that way. There's nobody here for me to be 6 feet in front of. But the song that I always liked is called Thinking of You, and I'd like to play it. Yes, I am thinking of all of you today, actually every day. This has been such a completely new and different challenge in a way that I had no idea when I first started to do it, what this combination of thinking that there are a whole lot of people out there all over the world that might be tuned in listening. Right here in this room, it's very silent, it's very alone, and the contrast between the two things sometimes has my mind very confused. Oh, by the way, this is the only espresso cup in my collection that's actually a double shot. You might notice that it's a little bit taller than most espresso cups are. So it's not quite big enough to be a mug, but it's perfect for a double shot, which I needed this morning. Okay, there's a guy out there, I don't know whether he's listening and watching today or not, but yesterday he was my fact checker. He's also a really good friend of Hillary's. Hi Doug, if you're out there, because I made the mistake of crediting the song Cheek to Cheek that I played a couple of days ago. I credited to Cole Porter. But I kind of had the feeling that I was wrong when I said it. It was actually composed by Irving Berlin, who, if you just had to guess any great song from that era, and if you mentioned the name Irving Berlin, you couldn't go too far wrong, because he wrote so many of them, including the song God Bless America, which I just learned that he composed that also, which is kind of appropriate for morale during these difficult times. But it's really more God bless the world and everybody all over the world these days. So where was I? Where's I going? Oh, I know. I have another challenge for Doug, my fact checker, because there was a piece, some manuscript that I've had for many, many years, and as I was going through some old stuff the other day looking for something new to play, I came across this piece that didn't have any composer. It was actually a handwritten sketch that I think I must have gotten when I was doing some work for the musical theater with my friend Jack O'Brien, and maybe somebody gave me this piece, but I don't really have that much of a memory of it. But the title of the piece was called Dr. Mo, and to this day I really have no idea what that means. There are a couple of little notations. I don't know who the composer is. I've tried to figure it out, but maybe it was somebody who was writing a musical that had a character in it named Dr. Mo. We don't know who Dr. Mo is or what Dr. Mo does, but I really like this piece, and I thought maybe Doug has some knowledge about it, or maybe you could look it up. Was there, this would have had to have been at least maybe 30 years ago, based upon the sketch that I had. There's an arranger that's listed, Jacques Pollard. I don't know who that is either, but anyway, here's this piece. It's called Dr. Mo, and Doug Lebrecht, if you can look that up and figure out who the composer is, let me know. So there must be some kind of drama there in that piece. It gets kind of tense and something's going on there in the middle of it. Not really sure. Maybe the doctor's patient woke up all of a sudden or something like that. But Doug Lebrecht, do your research and let me know what you come up with. Here's something from my Espresso album. I did it as a duo on the album with bassist Michael Palazzolo. If you're listening today, Michael, hi, down there in Windsor. Hope you're doing well. This, by the way, the title of this is called Il Boccalone. It's an Italian word, but the reason why I found out about it was because there was an Italian restaurant in Tokyo called Il Boccalone, and I loved it. And the end result was this piece. And the next 2 years later, the restaurant found out that I had composed this piece and brought me a beautiful cake to the Tokyo Blue Note where I was performing. So we became friends as a result of it. It's a fun experience. That restaurant has the most amazing risotto. I don't know what that has to do with this piece, but anyway, Okay, last song for today. If you're watching, I want to thank you very much for helping me feel like I'm doing something positive and staying creative and staying in touch. So I'm glad you chose to watch, and that's why I want to play the song Choose Me. It comes from my album Urban Flamingo from a few years ago. I had a wonderful band playing with me at that time. David McMurray on sax, Al Turner on bass, Ron Otis, who toured with me so often. Ron Otis was playing drums. Oh, who else? Wayne Gerard was playing guitar, and one of my very favorite musicians who I toured with a lot, going all the way back to the days when I toured with Earl Klugh following our one-on-one album, and that is Perry Hughes, who also played guitar. So here's the song, Choose Me. Okay, that's enough for today. Thank you for tuning in. I love this challenge of playing for you, and I'm hoping and praying for better days ahead. Let's stay disciplined, stay with the distancing as long as we need to do it. We must protect our health, not only for ourselves, but our loved ones and everyone else. Bye for now.